Okay, so I'll go on to the third question. That is, okay, it's all about creativity, right? So I'm just changing the question a little differently. So how do I add creativity in an informational speech so that it isn't boring and at the same time creates impact in the audience? Uh, Plain info speech.
Plain info speech. All right. So I run an organization where we do marketing for our customers. So our job is to write interesting content, convert that into a graphically rich document that will be used by the sales team to pursue deals. One example of what we do. So for us, creative writing is very important. We are all the time thinking of how to write creatively. So there was this customer who came to us to write a interesting blog about one of their complex technical engine. They call it the cognitive engine. They gave us one paragraph that describes what that engine is all about. Highly technical. It's a technology product. It's an app. It took us 2 days to understand what that one paragraph means. And we were supposed to write English around it and then make it interesting. It's purely informational, right? This is a product. These are the features. This is what you will achieve through that. We could have written that, but there's a reason why they came to us, and we had to do justice to that exercise. We broke our head for a very long time, and then we've always maintained that stories sell. Any kind of stories will sell. So we decided that we will convert this into a story. Now, when you convert something into a story, you need characters, you need plot, you need conflict, you need climax. So all of these needs to come. So how do we bring in characters? How do we bring in a plot? How do we make it provocative for readers to go and read this and things like that? So it starts with the title. Right? If you find a movie title exciting, you would want to go and watch that movie. Right? So we thought title is very important. In fact, this is one suggestion I would like to give to many speakers. They don't give importance to titles because they think, oh, no, that's not going to help. It'll really have a great impact. So the title was, I was shocked to hear what he had to tell me. I was shocked to hear what he had to tell me. Now everybody is wondering, what is this he? Who is this? Who are these two characters? What did he tell so that this guy got shocked? So they want to really go in and find out what are they even talking about. An IT company which has a blog which says I was shocked to hear what he had to tell me. And this whole blog was a perspective from a leader inside that organization. Imagine your organization, your senior vice president, let's give him a name, Ramakrishnan, right? So Ramakrishnan was walking on the corridor of the office one day. He was a little bored with all the nagging calls and meetings and he wanted a break. He thought, I'll just get some fresh air. Let me walk on the corridor. So he was walking on the corridor and suddenly he saw one room with a title saying Innovation Lab. He has always seen that when he was walking to his office, but never bothered to figure out what is inside. That day, since he wanted to take a break, he thought, why not jump in and see what is happening inside? Being a senior leader, he didn't have restrictions entering any part of the office. So he enters the innovation lab to figure out what is there. The whole lab was empty, except for one young engineer sitting in a corner, focusing on his laptop. So he decided, let me walk across to him and then ask him what he is doing. So he silently walked across him and stood by his side. And this guy didn't even realize that there was somebody standing next to him. And he tapped on his shoulder. He hesitantly turned back and then he saw one gentleman, salt and pepper beard. And he said, yes, sir. And so Ramakrishnan immediately asked, gentlemen, what is your name? My name is Saurabh. Okay, when did you join our organization? Oh, 1 year back. And where did you come from? IIT. Oh, great. What are you doing? he was a little hesitant to share what he was doing because he has signed a non-disclosure agreement when he joined the company. So he is a guy who will follow processes and all of those stuffs, right? And then he said, sorry, I can't reveal what I'm doing. Then Ramakrishnan had to introduce himself. Look here, I am a senior vice president. I'm number 3 in this organization. I've been here for 25 years. So you can very well share what you have got to share. So Saurabh quickly scanned his ID card and confirmed that yes, he's talking the truth, and he went on to explain what he's doing. So he went on to explain what this cognitive engine is all about. So this is where the paragraph that the company gave us is coming in. And then we did some English around it. We didn't want to disturb that much because what if we end up changing the entire meaning of what that engine is all about? If you don't know any subject, keep it intact. But by then the audience is hooked and they're loving it. They're loving this character called Ramakrishnan. They're loving this character called Saurabh. We are actually inserting a lot of subtle messages inside the document. Like this company is very strict on NDA. People don't disclose what they're doing. So they need that authorization that, yes, I'm talking to the right guy. Those are subtle things we are sprinkling in the document. And then we went on to exclaim that Ramakrishnan was shocked. Oh, I didn't know that this was happening inside this company. This is such a lovely product. I would like to know more about it. Why don't we catch up over a coffee? And then we'll figure out how does it help our customers. And I'm looking forward to listen to that from you. We end it. All right. Very simple, informative paragraph converted into a nice story. And this is what creativity is all about. And once you finish reading, you'll feel, oh, creativity is nothing. It's something really simple. Right? Anybody can write this story. I did not explain rocket science now, but applying our mind to do something like this is what is lacking in most of us. And that is more to do with fear and not capability.
Amazing, amazing example. I don't think you could have explained this with any better example, and lovely. I think I'm floored to, I don't know when I'm going to put this into use. Lovely example. Thank you so much, Jayan. I think
I'm giving you long answers to a short question. Am I allowed to give such long answers? I really don't know. Sorry, I get excited.
Of course, you have a free hand on this. There is no stopping on that.
Right.
I don't think this could get any better, I should say, for the audience who are listening to this. So I have no limitation on the time. So don't worry.
Okay.
This is going to be my last question, and I'm actually more eager to hear the answer for this question, and that is, what is your number one most creative or crazy speech that either you have given or you've heard in your Toastmasters journey?
The most creative speech that I've either given or heard plenty. Yeah, there are people who have been amazing in delivering some wonderful speeches. Most of the world champion speeches are all creative because there's so much of thought that has gone into it, right? But I constantly try creativity in whatever I do, but it's very subtle. People won't even notice because I want to constantly find out what connects with the audience. There's nothing else important than that. I can claim I'm really creative and I go goof up. The creativity is of no use. By the way, these days I take sessions on, my title is creativity, and the witty is not V-I-T-Y, it is W-I-T-T-Y. So the reason why I put it like that is I tell people that being creative and being witty are the two important ingredients that we all must possess. You can be creative yet boring. So the wittiness has to be there always, right? So that is how my title for the session is Creativity. So we will come to witty later because that can be a separate session altogether. So my objective of being creative is to find out how well am I able to connect with the audience. So that way I'm creatively changing my script every time. I get an opportunity to do education sessions. I have a certain content with me, and then I take that content to the audience and then talk to them, right? And then suddenly I feel that this place, they're not connecting well. So let me see how I can change it. I'll give you a quick example. Uh, there is a piece where I talk about uh, how I was shot in the class at school. And every time the class makes a noise, my principal used to ask us to stand in a line on the playground. All right. And then he used to bring the cane and whack us. I'm a shy introvert guy. I never speak in the class. And the first guy to get hot, on the palm is me. I used to feel miserable, getting punished for something that I did not do. So the story goes like this. I go in crib to my dad, and then my dad somehow wants to shut my mouth. So he takes me to the hospital. I grew up in a small township. There is a tiny hospital there. So he used to take me to the doctor, and the doctor says, okay, take this medicine for 3 months. You'll be all right. So I keep my mouth shut for 3 months. Nothing happens. I'm the same height. Again, crib to my dad. He'll again take me to the hospital. So every specialist, he takes me to every specialist, pediatrician, neurologist, connected specialists I'm being taken to. So I used to narrate this story. People like it. I know they know, okay, this is what he's saying. Somewhere I felt that, hey, there has to be some wittiness that has to come, some creative twist that has to come. And then later, once I tried this, so the dad took me to a pediatrician. Next time he took me to a neurologist. He covered everybody except a gynecologist. He took me everywhere. Suddenly there was some, oh, did I hear that? Okay, then there is little laughter, right? So this spark came to me once. And that for me is creativity, and that for me is simple twist that can kind of make the whole thing light. And then I stuck on to that. So like this, it is. I'm not going to say that there is one speech that is the most creative for me. There are bits and pieces like this where some little twist like this gave a big boost to my speech, and like that I have many instances where I have tried and it worked. My favorite standard opening, I'm sure people are bored of listening to this, but yet for the sake of this interview, I will tell this. Every time I open my speech, chances are you won't have heard me speak, right? So then it's the right platform for me to tell that. So I go on stage and the natural question that I ask is, am I audible? So I feel a little conscious and anxious, and then I ask, am I audible? Everybody will nod their head, yeah, you're audible. Then I build that further, saying, last bench, can you hear me? So it's a very natural, valid question, right? And last bench guys are saying, yeah. Then I say, see, this is what everybody will ask, right? Because they're concerned that they need to be audible. But this is least of my botheration, right? I'm least bothered. And then I put a pause. And everybody is just wondering, oh, you're not bothered about this, then what the hell are you bothered? That's what is running in their mind. So that pause helps him to kind of consume and figure out what is he going to say. And then I quietly ask them, am I visible? And everybody bursts into laughter, and self-deprecating humor really works. And I try this and it works. And invariably, every time it works. So I stuck on to that. So this is one of my favorite openings. Depending on who the audience is, I kind of use it, and sometimes I don't use it like that. And these are bits and pieces of creativity that can really help. But something that just really touched me, and something that is not me, is when once in a division conference, I was the test speaker for an evaluation contest. I was thinking that I will go and give a humorous speech. I climbed on stage and people were shocked to see me as a test speaker. They all started.
Welcome back.
Sorry.
What a moment to lose you. It was such a lovely, scene that was building up, and I lost you.
It happens, right? So yesterday we were in a meeting. It's recording, right? We can continue.
Yeah, we can continue.
Yeah, in fact, you have to put the frozen frame there just to tell people that all of these disasters are natural in this online world. Yesterday, I was at the Oceans Toastmasters meeting having a panel discussion, and the moderator, Shweta, who was supposed to ask questions, right at that moment, she got disconnected. Her power went off and she could connect. Such a sad thing to happen, right? And everybody is panicking because the panelists are there and nobody is there to ask questions. We are all looking at each other, and then quickly somebody else like Princely stepped in and he made it interesting. And so these things happen, right? So the very first question was, what is that value you find to be very important in Toastmasters? And had this incident had not happened, I wouldn't have had the right value to talk about. I spoke about empathy. So everything is a blessing in disguise. So we will have to just keep moving. So let's not fret over it, because life doesn't come to a standstill because of a simple network distortion. So I'll come back to this point. I don't know how you're going to stitch this together, but let there be a problem so people will know that there is like mild twist in the whole story. So when I walked onto the stage that day, everybody was laughing, clapping, because they knew that they're going to listen to a humorous speech. But something told me when I was driving to that venue, something told me, no, you will have to change. So when I walked on the stage, that was the most emotional speech I've ever delivered. It was about my father. So I had lost him just 2 or 3 years before that particular day, and his anniversary was just 1 week away. So he was there on my mind, and I thought, as a tribute to my dad, I will talk about his struggles and stories and things like that. Free flow, right? I just like that went ahead and then spoke for 7 minutes about my dad. In between, I choked, and then finally, when I finished the speech and then came down, I saw people weeping. Right, they were all rubbing their eyes. Then that was not my intention, but that's what happened, right? So that way, I think that's the most absolutely not creative, right? The thought of doing that speech was probably creative. Otherwise, that's the only different thing that has happened to me. But have you seen creative speeches? Plenty, plenty. Especially humorous speeches are all creative, because the basis for humor is creativity. You will see that in every speech. If you don't creatively look at certain aspects of your life, you can't be humorous. That's the hidden ingredient in that. Yeah.
Very true. I mean, very nice. Example that you said about the crazy idea that you had about to completely change the way you wanted to say. So thank you so much. I think we've come to the end of this episode with this question. But before I end, I also, because we are starting this, this whole initiative of LNTCC Toastmasters Club, would love to hear from you about this initiative, what you think, what should we change, or anything that you want to say about it.
The great initiative, right? The moment you came to me and said, we are doing one Panchatantra, I'm interviewing people, the first thing that came to my mind was, she must be somebody new. The old people are so bored, includes me. So that's why I'm saying they're bored. They've run out of ideas. Had you come and asked me if I was in your club, Jayan, can we do this? Yeah, let's try. If you're interested, Drew. I know very well after the second or third one, you will stop. That's the thing that is running on my mind. So thankfully you are new. So, but this is the newness that we all want. Right, leveraging the current new normal, trying to take advantage of that new situation, and then leveraging whatever tools that we have, like this video tool, and then making something useful for the members and also the world at large. Right, I think that's what is important for everybody. So we are doing what we can do best. And I can sit at home and talk, and you can sit at home and ask. That's it. And if we can add value to at least a few handful of people through this, why not? I think that's the objective. So great job. Continue doing. Interview as many people as you can. I don't recommend any changes that you have to bring about in the way you're doing things. Maybe you should go to Zoom than Teams, because I've been extremely comfortable with Zoom. Maybe you should try that once. No, that's the silliest recommendation anybody can give, right? But that's the only recommendation that I have.
Great. Thank you so much, Jayan. It was lovely having you. I think this is going to be like, this is the end of the day. It'll become a treasure house of lovely learning that all of us will have, and it is going to stay forever, right? It's not going to be like for tomorrow. This is something that will stay forever and be very, very useful for any of the new members who are going to come, and even for the existing members. Even I should say that even the veterans in our club are loving the videos, and they still say that there are a lot of learnings that they get out of this. So, and like you said, thanks to the new normal, that we are able to talk to all people like you and be able to still get, instead of just the traditional educational sessions, we could do this and still make use of the technology that we have. So lovely having you with us today, Jayan. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and good luck to all of you.